On the Rave! Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. My name is Gav.
I'm Addie.
And you are tuned in once again to the On the Rave podcast. Hello for the very first time of 2019.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
It's been a rough turn of the year. Me and Addie have took some time off to recuperate and to pamper ourselves a little bit.
I've been to the spa day. Not really.
No.
I've just been to the spa.
You've been to the spa. You didn't go for the full day.
No, I just been to the spa. Got some corn snacks.
Oh, the SPAR spa. Amazing. What we'll do, Addie, is we'll start the way we always start, and we might as well start this year with a bang. Let's go for some Ravers choice.
Oh, who's picked it this week?
Who's picked it this week? I've picked it this week.
Have you?
Because it's new year, new rules. I get to pick what's actually going on with Ravers choice this time round. Just for this one.
That sounds like a plan.
One of my favourite guys on Facebook, a guy who puts out questions for everyone to answer on his Facebook. If you don't follow him, you should follow him. His name's Frank Manseed. He was a tattoo artist in town. Frank is a lovely, lovely, lovely guy, and he reckons that we should start the new year with some 808 State.
Sounds good to me.
Specifically, he reckons Pacific State.
Sounds like a banger. Let's go.
Right, let's go. And what a way to kick off 2019's podcasts. That was 808 State, Pacific State, and that, as they say, is a tune.
It's a whacker belt on that one, though.
It is. It's a proper banging tune. Addie, we're starting the year with a pair of guests.
A pair?
A pair
a
of
duo.
guests.
It's
a
not
duo.
deck.
It's no. It's not quite Ant and Deck. That would be that would be good though, wouldn't it? Do you reckon we could get what do you reckon we could get out of Ant and Deck?
I don't know. The piss heads are off. Oh no, he's off the juice now. Isn't he?
Yeah, he might tell us some really good stories. He might trust us because we're one of them. We're one of those. Or he's one of us. You know, he's just a Geordie. He's just a Geordie raver. He's down a rumble.
I wonder if he's fucking full of pingers.
I'd like to think that he's enjoyed plenty of time waving his arms full of rinsed out pingers, like at least one of them, if not both of them. Like I'd imagine that would be a really warm Geordie embrace, wouldn't it? The pair of them absolutely ripped on pingers, having a lush.
I love you,
Deck. Like, a proper lush cuddle. So let's introduce the guests that we've got in here today. So in the room or the office. Just in my house.
And in your house?
Yeah, it's in my house, yeah. In the office, in the house, with the massive stand-up Boba Fett. We've got Col and we've got Pez. Hello, lads.
How's it going?
Good evening, gents.
How's it going? So what we're going to do, we're doing a double header. Me and Addie are going to be working with these guys in the future on some events in town. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that, and we will talk a little bit about that. There's no maybe about that. Might
talk a lot about it.
Might talk a lot about it a little bit later on. But guys, it's nice to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah, good, spot on. Well, I think what we'll do, we're going to go with you first, Col, aren't we?
Yes, that's correct.
Mint. So, do you want to introduce yourself to the On the Rave listeners?
Hello, everybody. I'm Col, otherwise known as D-Crypter. Been on and off the scene for 25 years.
Fuck me.
Mostly on the underground illegal rave side in the 90s. Had a break, early 2000s, then come back to a pretty much non-existent scene in the northeast.
Yeah.
And trying to rebuild it.
Yeah. Good. We like the sound of that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of rebuilding the northeast. Addie's got his campaign going already. Hashtag make the Cooperage rave again.
Yes. No, I was outside the Cooperage last night, and I think it's definitely going to fall down soon.
Yeah, it's a sorry sight.
If you go to our Instagram page, I posted a picture of it. It looked very decrepit last night.
Yeah. Of course, you can catch us at On The Rave on Facebook. You can catch us at On The Rave on Twitter. You can catch us on youtube.com/On The Rave if we haven't been suppressed. And of course, Addie's favourite, we can go to Instagram and you go to On The Rave with Addie and Gav.
And remember, Gav, we now have a Patreon site. If you've got some pennies to put in and to keep us in coffee and other shenanigans, maybe if there's a £10 pinger to tier if you want to keep wearing pingers as well. That's coming up soon.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so the Patreon is there for anyone who feels like they want to donate.
If you search Patreon for On The Rave, you can find us.
We are currently powered by Podbean.
And fueled by Basement Snacks.
Don't forget, you can go into Basement Snacks on Ridley Place and you can go and shout at Don's on the counter, On The Rave, and you get 10% off all your coffee and snacks.
Yeah, and this week she's doing vegan sausage rolls.
She's doing vegan sausage. Well, do you know what it is? Greg's are sold out of the bastards. So someone's got to be putting them on the street for the people who don't deal with no meat on the streets of Toon and all that.
Vegan sausage roll shortage of the year 2019.
Yeah, that's it. The year started with vegan sausage rolls, and now Greg's don't have any again. They were a myth. If you didn't get one in that 1 week, that Greg's actually had one that didn't exist. Let's crack on and start talking about Col's tunes that he's picked. And the first section that we do, and he's frantically looking for his phone to try and catch up with what's going on there, is the early influences. So, Col, who were the early influences on you in your music
my
life?
early influences, well, I was brought up on rock and metal.
Right.
Courtesy of my dad. From the age of 2, he used to shove us in the corner of the room with big cans on my ears. Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath,
Nice.
Floyd.
Nice.
Classics.
Yeah.
On my mum's side, it was kind of the Mamas and Papas, Beatles, Beach
Stuff.
Boys.
A bit more vocal stuff.
Yeah.
We love a bit of the Beach Boys. I absolutely love the Beach
I had
Boys.
such a varied range growing up.
Yeah.
And it was once the acid scene started in the late 80s, that was me on my electronic journey.
Yeah. So like the initial stuff was like the rock that your mum and dad were listening to, and
Yeah.
then who like put you? Did you find the digital scene yourself, or?
Yeah, it was. Well, no, actually.
I say digital. It was probably all made on analog equipment.
Yeah.
I don't know, are Amigas counted as digital?
Well,
8-bit.
It definitely not analog.
if you had to plug it in, was it digital or analog?
It's my cousin that introduced us to the scene in a way. He's a DJ on the underground techno scene.
All right.
Has been since the late 80s.
So he's to
DJ
blame.
Aubrey.
Right.
Huge in like Spain, Italy. And it was kind of him that stayed us away from the stringed instruments to the
To the synth
hands-on
instruments.
synth stuff.
Yeah.
Never looked back since. It's been a really interesting journey over the years.
Yeah. It sounds like it. So, of all of the stuff that you were listening to, is there one tune that sort of encapsulates your early influences, your early listening?
Yeah, I think it was back in '91. Breakbeat was starting to come in, and it was a track by EQ. What was it called again? I haven't got my Googles on.
Haven't got your Googles on.
Back.
Edit.
That's fine.
My memory is like.
I'm just looking for science.
You're looking for, have you not got science going yet?
No, I totally forgot
But,
until right now.
Urban Shakedown featuring Mickey Finn. That's what you've got.
the EQ one's further on.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's fine. We'll come back in.
So was that 91? Yeah.
Yeah, you got the year right. And I was
Yeah,
like,
right. Yes, I got some right.
Yeah. Before we do the next one, I'll just let you look at it so you remember.
What went on before?
You got yours on your phone. That's what people normally do. Like, we'll, like to start with, we'll get bits of paper all over the place, and then it quite.
Yeah, I was
it
meant
quite,
to write them down.
Do you know what it is? It quite quickly builds up, and you feel bad because it's just a little podcast, and we're not very eco-friendly. It's just like filtering all of the.
podcast.
Eco footprints fucking way off the chart.
Oh, absolutely. So, Col, edit.
Edit.
If there was one tune that sort of encapsulates your early listening, what tune would that be?
Well, back in '91, I was introduced to breakbeat by my cousin. Wanted to try us on something new since I wasn't really digging the underground scene back then.
Right, the techno stuff.
That was very minimal, strange acid.
Minimal, another word for boring.
Yeah. It was too repetitive and not enough going on for us. And he's like, "Oh wait, maybe you'll like this." Introduced us to breakbeat. There was a track by Urban Shakedown, Some Justice.
Oh, it's a classic!
Mickey Finn version. I heard that.
Oh, Mickey Finn. Mickey Finn's a bit of a hero of ours, isn't he?
Yes.
He comes up all the time. Didn't we played the same day as him at Bangface?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome. Yeah, so Some Justice, Mickey Finn.
Yeah, absolute classic track. Remember having that on cassette and basically wearing it out to nothing.
Tapes.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Yeah.
rave tapes.
Oh, rave tapes. Amazing. So, for the early influences track, let's play Shakedown featuring Mickey Finn.
Booyah.
That was
Breakbeat old school shenanigans there.
That was 1991 encapsulated in one tune, wasn't it? That was Shakedown featuring Mickey Finn, Some Justice, and that's quite a banger.
Bella.
That was the early influences tune selected by Col, who sat with us today in the On the Rave studio. So we'll toddle straight on to the Finding Your Own Feet section. So this is when we talk about the music that you started listening to, that you were more responsible for, that you went out and actually sought yourself.
Yes.
So, when you were out seeking your early musical adventure, what sort of thing did you pick up?
I don't know if you can remember when we used to have record shops that sold Rave records. There was a record shop called Volume Records. Used to have a bit of a franchise in the northeast.
I remember Volume, yeah.
You remember Volume?
Friday and Saturday, used to spend many hours in there. It was mostly searching through breakbeat, and someone had kindly put a non-breakbeat vinyl in amongst them, and I was like, oh, what's this? Stuck it on the little turntable in the shop. It was Turbulence, Disaster Area.
Oh.
And it absolutely blew me away. I never knew that kind of music existed at that time.
Yeah.
And that was me kind of introduced to hardcore at a very, very early stage.
Yeah. There's like lots of people who said the same sort of thing. They're discovering this one-off tune while they're searching through other records while they were looking. Like, it's funny, like, you go to a record shop thinking you're going to buy one thing and you can walk away with something so different, but like equally as good or equally as...
It's like when you get there and you're flicking through tunes, but whoever's on the shop just puts something fucking crazy on in the background that you've never heard before, and you're just like, fuck that, what's that? What's that you
I love
play?
it.
Yeah, can I have the one that he's playing, please? No, I can still remember, like, I mean, HMV had the one that you could listen to, but that wasn't the same sort of music. It's like Beatdown.
Yeah.
And the one, what was the one at the top of Northumberland Street as well? Steel Wheels?
Yes,
Was it Steel Wheels?
I spent so many times. So many good days in there.
Yeah, and you'd go in thinking you were going to buy one thing, and you'd just sit and listen to all sorts of stuff and buy something that's got a white label on that someone's put in the wrong box, but you've found and you're keeping it. Like,
it's now the Five Swans.
And it is now the Five Swans.
Five Swans.
It is the Five Swans. We've had some shenanigans in there as
I've
well.
had shenanigans.
Recurring theme of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's not
That's where
about
Sunday fun days always start.
It is. It's the troublesome start to a Sunday fun day.
Sunday fun day.
Before you get to the level enough of depravity to wander around the corners and go into Sergeant Pepper's.
2 cans of Strongbow for a £5, you can't beat that.
They still serve pints of woodpecker. When woodpecker on tap. Have you seen how orange woodpecker is these days? It's
like
mad. It's like Iron Brew.
Yeah.
It's like Iron Brew, man. It's absolutely mad. So what else were you listening to when you were finding your musical feet? Were there other artists that you found when you got into the hardcore stuff?
I've always had a pretty eclectic range in like taste in music.
Aye.
And I started getting into bands like GTO.
Mint. Fucking my
Remember
favourite
stumbling across their album on vinyl in the shop. It had a $12.99 sticker on. I was like, right, $3.99 sticker going on. We place that. Best album purchase ever.
On the Rave podcast, we'd just like to say they don't condone thievery. Even if it does get you a banging tune on vinyl. There.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but
yeah, not in this back in the day, but
you'd do anything to get a good record back in the day, wouldn't you?
When you've got like
Switching
a $5 in your hand and I need that album.
I need to take that one home.
Yeah, because it'll not be there next time I come.
It's that's what I always call. That's what I always say about TK Maxx. Like, you go into TK Maxx once, and if there's a jacket there, don't think that you can leave and it'll be there the next time you come, because it'll be gone. Like, you get one chance in TK Maxx, and it's a bit like that in old school record shops, isn't it?
Yeah,
You'd see it, and you'd be like, if I don't take that, someone else is going to...
just fucking hide shit all the time.
What, hide them amongst other records and stuff
totally
like that?
obscure
bargain rack,
categories.
just right in the back of one bargain rack that like no one ever looked at, it was full of dust, just like fucking
Hide it there until payday.
Yeah. All the time.
I wonder how many people...
Even if it was an HMV, I'd just fucking take it to the rock section or another floor and just like leave it there.
Yeah. Do you know HMV's actually got a massive record section in again now? It's not the same as it was. It doesn't have any Rave or anything like that. But they actually do have loads of vinyl again. Like the
I
vinyl.
found 2 of my records in HMV in Blackpool once.
Right, amazing.
Really randomly.
Yeah, that sounds really... What you went to Blackpool and you went to HMV?
We just had a look in and I was just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, spotty dog. So, the Finding Your Own Feet section of the podcast this time out, you've gone for Turbulence Disaster Area.
Yes, sir.
So, let's play that tune for everyone to listen to and that.
But we had one more important sound. Don't stop! This is the dawn of the new era. Slamming beats. Don't stop!
Oh, what a tune that is, Gav.
That
What
is
a tune.
that is a canny
Bangers.
tune. That was Disaster Area by Turbulence. That was 1992 on the label Dance Pool. Sweet. Well, let's toddle on to one of Addie's favourites. I know you love a bit of first rave memories, Addie.
Oh, it fucking brings a tear to a chap's eye.
So when we talk about your first rave memories,
Yes, sir.
who do you remember? Where were you? Was it absolutely the very first one, or was there one that you particularly
My
stands out?
absolute first rave I went to was the original After Dark.
Right.
Before that went belly up.
Where was that?
In Sunderland Town Centre, behind the bus station that was there at the
Right.
time, which is around the corner from where the original Blue Monkey was.
Right.
Started on my rave journey with Turbulence, and I've heard a few people say, oh, there's raves in the town. So, scraped together my pocket money, told my mum I was staying at a friend's, I was still at school. Went there, first DJ was on warm up, and he dropped this track, and goosebumps throughout, Jones and Stevenson.
Mint. Oh.
And, and that was me, hooked.
The
Totally.
first Rebirth.
Yeah, first Rebirth track.
Such a tune.
That is
Still this day, such a fucking absolutely epic record.
just like as soon as you said what the tune was, like you're right. It is one of those goosebump tunes, isn't it? Like it's one of the ones that people are like. I think loads of people have tried to remix it as well.
Yeah,
loads of people have
tried, but they haven't
done their take on it.
Got that emotion that track's got.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those ones that I've heard loads of different people. I've heard talking about this track loads. James Smith.
Yeah,
James,
he loves it. Like
Smiggy absolutely loves that track. I'm sure we had a right good go about it. And I remember, as I was just saying to Addie, that we had a Rollies for Mice years and years ago at the Cooperage. And Ed Cox opened his entire set with his version of it, and he basically played a speed up, jacked up version of it, and then started playing like live hops chord over it.
Oh, yeah.
It was a really good one. There's a tape of that somewhere that I'm trying to get a hold of to try and, because we've got loads of lost tapes to come for you, like so. But yeah, I'll try and get a hold of that one to get it up. It's one of those ones that were high. I don't know, it was like 2008 or something like that. But what an absolute!
Yeah, man.
It's one of those rave tunes, isn't it?
Yeah, well, most definitely. And see, it still gets played today, and still has the same effect on people.
Yeah.
Which timeless classic.
Yeah,
That's what
absolute
I call
anthem. Absolute anthem.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that's because it's such a good tune. It's like it's timeless.
Yeah.
In it, like that. Every time someone plays that, there might be someone hearing it and falling in love with it for the first time each time. Like you can imagine it being played on something like Six Music and some guy listening to it in the kitchen going, "What is that?" Like, well, like when did I miss that? It's very much of its time, isn't it? It's that sort of mid-90s euphoric rave.
Yeah, it's personally, I haven't found a track that's had the same effect on us.
This is one of those tracks that could very easily be in the arms in the air moment for a lot of people.
Yes.
Like just thinking about it, there could be lots of people who would sit down and do their lists like they would for the show, and they'd play this as that arms in the air moment because it really is one of those class tunes. So let's not tease you anymore. Let's just play the tune, I reckon. Do you reckon?
Yes.
Going with the fucking thickness.
Yeah. This is Jones and Stevenson, the first Rebirth. Ah, well, that's just one of them,
That
isn't
was magical. I
It
feel like I
was.
fucking shelled half a cheeky pinger.
it? A one that sort of like got stuck on the way down and give you a giggle 3 ways through the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, spotty dog. We'll toddle straight on to the 4th section of the podcast.
Sure is.
It is. It's the 4th section. And we're going to talk about the festival fever. So, festival fever, outdoor noise.
Outdoor noise,
do you like a bit of outdoor
I
noise?
love a bit of outdoor noise.
Yeah, I always like a bit of outdoor noise. What sort of thing gets you going by the way of outdoor noise?
Bass.
Bass. Bass and sunshine.
Bass and sunshine.
Yeah, bass and
Perfect
sunshine.
combination, can't beat it.
Yeah, bass,
Can't replace it.
bass, sunshine, relatively cold beer, not too
Oh,
cold.
yeah, not
I've
too
got
cold.
I've got sensitive teeth, man. Cold beer just knacks my gob. It's no good. And I like them relatively room temperature, like tepid beer. Unfortunately. So, what sort of tunes get you in the mood for that sort of outdoor music?
Guaranteed, every summer, I always revert back to my roots. The breakbeat,
Yeah,
the old ambient drum and bass. To me, that is summer music.
like the early '90s
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. How old would you have been when it was like early '90s?
Early 90s, well, I left school in 94.
Like, or you were of the right age to be actually consuming
Yeah.
all of the music. Like, I was a little bit too young at that point. I would have been like 11. Like, so, but you got to consume all of
Yeah,
that
no,
music
I
the
was-
first time round, which is mint.
One of the lucky ones, I was blessed with facial hair from a young age.
Ah,
Went to my first Fantasia event in 93, got in no problem.
mint.
But from the DJing perspective, it was more of the free parties,
Yeah.
the illegal raves.
Yeah.
Back then, which there was an abundance of. There was more illegal events than there was licensed events,
Right,
which was fantastic.
sounds it. It's like these days, there's not enough of either, is there?
No.
No.
You've got to go and travel to go and see someone these days.
Yeah.
Which is hopefully something that you're going to bring back in as well with what
Fingers
you've got.
crossed. Fingers
What you've
crossed.
got.
Wow,
Big
what
lineup coming, big lineup.
Yeah.
Get out and get those tickets. They're going fast.
So, is there any like one guy or one tune that particularly gets you in that sort of festival fever mood? That
Col
reminds you.
DQ released quite a bit of
Or Formation Records.
That would be correct, sir. Beautiful
I
label.
wasn't even looking at the list there, Gav.
You weren't even you knew that one
That's
yourself.
off my own knowledge.
Oh, he's talking. You see, we'll provide him with research, and he doesn't need it.
Didn't need
He
it.
doesn't
Not for
need
this.
it. He's an almanac of '90s stuff. Any reference, absolutely any reference.
Especially He-Man.
I don't return you.
But He-Man won.
He-Man still.
Everyone's voted He-Man.
Oh,
on the
that's
Where Would You
right.
Rather
Yeah.
Live.
So you can be interactive with us. Addie's favourite is Instagram, and was it on Instagram you are doing polls?
No, it's on the Facebook group.
It's on the Facebook group. Addie's been trying to find the perfect rave location from the '90s.
Everyone preferred Castle Grayskull.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was a voter on that.
yeah, yeah. So Castle Grayskull's where you'd like to go, and it'd be kind of banging to put a sign up and put a DJ decks inside the mouth of Castle Grayskull and just like have people bopping in the moat.
Well,
Like,
I thought people might went for if you were a kid back then and you had the castles. The Skeletor one actually came with like a mic that you could like a mic thing, so you could go whoa, welcome to blah 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 blah.
oh,
So I thought, but only DT recognised that, so it was only me and DT had it.
oh, and everyone else went for
Aye.
well, everyone's a little bit faced these days, man. It's Christmas, right? or it's just being Christmas. You know what I mean? So yeah, we've got for Formation Records.
Formation, yes. EQ released a track, Total Ecstasy. And there was a mix done by the fantastic DJ SS.
DJ SS.
And
Well, go see him.
again, that was another track which, first time I heard it, it just had me gripped.
Yeah.
And it's still one of the most regular played ones in my little summer sets that I do.
Yeah. SS is the lord of the banging remix.
Oh, yeah.
He's also the lord of the second drop. Like, he'll build it up and drop that first drop on you, and you think that that's the top of that tune, but no, mate.
No,
He's going to
not by
strip
long shots.
everything back down, build it all the way back up, and that second drop's always just poison in a DJ SS tune. Like, DJ SS does that version of Limb by Limb, which is just absolutely
by
off
Fin.
in by Finn. which is just absolutely banging as well of that sort of time. So absolutely wicked. Well, let's play some EQ.
Fantastic.
Boom, let's go.
What a tune, Gavin!
That was the DJSS remix of Total Ecstasy 93, which is an absolute banger.
Anthem.
It is proper anthem. Okay, well, we've rolled into the 5th section of the podcast. This is when we get to talk about shared discoveries. It's one of my favourite bits. So, as well as sharing something you may have discovered, do you want to share anything that you've got coming up? So this is probably the perfect time to talk a little bit about this event you've got coming up. So, as we said earlier, the On The Rave podcast, me and Addie are going to be turning out for these guys to lend a hand. They've got an event coming up, and I think Col's going to tell you all about it right about now. So, what's happening?
The event is Hardcore Fighters, which is an extension of the brand from the Netherlands, which, funny enough, is called Hardcore Fighters also.
There we go.
They have just recently become a foundation themselves and expanding. I think they're expanding into Belgium now. But UK side, we are joined with Children with Cancer UK.
Yeah.
So all of our events are specifically tailored to raise as much money as possible for that charity. So all proceeds from tickets, merchandise goes straight to them. We put nothing in our pockets. But the lineups we've got,
We've seen.
we have some tasty people coming, especially from the Netherlands.
Yeah, you've got some Dutch legends, and you've got some local legends,
Yes,
and
that's-
got some local Wallies on.
one or two.
Yeah.
The 2 hour blue bell end set.
But yeah, we're hoping to breathe a bit of life back into the northeast, mainly Newcastle. We're going to be putting the events on as regular as possible. And as the lads mentioned, we're going to have the On The Rave boys.
On the
as
Rave!
residents. The first event, you'll see them tootling about, maybe doing a few interviews with a couple of the guys from the lineup.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. Hoping to get a few of these Dutch guys to answer some questions and probably pick some tunes for you as well.
They're all well up
which would
for
be
it.
canny. Yeah, that sounds good. So, like, you've got your event coming up. Have you, and the tune you've picked for shared discovery? How did you discover them?
It was one of the lineup, 909 Junkies.
Right.
I hadn't really heard much about the guys before. I know they've been floating about for a while. Got chatting to one of the main chaps who his solo DJ name is The Control.
Right.
So I thought, I may as well check them out since I've put them on my lineup. And I was seriously impressed. And
Like with his solo stuff.
with his solo stuff, he's got some absolutely cracking tracks out and a lot of really, really decent collabs with people. And I was quite surprised at how unknown he is.
Yeah.
Mainly in the UK. Over in the Netherlands, he's quite big. Germany, because he's half German, half Scottish, which good combination.
Jockish.
Yeah.
It's quick that Gav. Well done.
But yeah, I'm checking his tunes out, and there's become part of my
Regular listening.
regular listening, and hopefully get them banged into a couple of upcoming sets.
Mint. Oh, that sounds really good. Well, obviously, people can come along to the event. When's the event?
Event is the 27th of April.
There you go. And where can people get tickets?
People can get tickets on Skiddle if you just search Hardcore Fighters UK Event 1.
There you go.
Absolute bargain of a price, £12 plus booking fee.
There you go. Mint. So you know where you can come and see this guy. We're going to play one of his tunes now. The tune you've picked is called, very subtly, Holy Fuck.
Yes, sir.
But I mean, we've had all sorts of names of tunes on here. It's one of the tamer ones we've had, isn't it? But this is from 2017 by The Control. This is Holy Fuck.
Enjoy.
Holy
Mint, that was the control. That was, as we said, that was holy fuck.
Like smashing your fucking nana with a bag full of spanners.
And you can come and see the control along with these 909 junkies.
Yes, sir.
Who will be playing at the Hardcore Fighters
They will be
UK
doing
event.
Half live performance and half DJ set.
Oh, well, there we'll go.
So,
Getting
something
spoiled.
special.
It's spoiled, doubled up.
Two in
So-
order.
Yeah, it is. So, Addie at section 6, I need you to do us a favour.
What?
I need you to set the scene.
Right. You're pushing through the crowd at Hardcore Fighters. Masses of people there, down the front, and the Cosmic Ball Bag. Edge along, and the DJ drops just the most wickedest tune. Hands in the air. Are you Screwface?
Oh, ultimate Screwface.
Way!
Ultimate Screwface.
Right.
That's the way I go. I prefer the tracks to be so meaty it just crumples your face up.
Crumbles your face up like an origami fucking swan in the wind. Gone. That sound, well, we do love a bit of a screw face. I still haven't done the tally. Like, it's
I
been,
know, I was just looked.
Yeah.
I looked up there and
yeah,
it's not there.
I know. I keep. Right, one day I'll update you. One day I'll update you. So I'll just drop it on you. Maybe on the anniversary if you're nice. If you're nice,
Drop it like it's bot.
drop it. Aye. I
tell
don't know where to go. Don't know where to go with that.
Tell I'm fucking hanging the deal.
That's it. Addy was out for pingers last night, and he's still rough. He's still rough. Bless him. That's why we'll look after him. So, what sort of tunes is it that draws the screw face out of you?
The more bass, the more distortion,
Yeah,
the more low end
yeah.
craziness, the better.
Gut roll, shake, and bass going right through you.
If it doesn't leave a lasting scarred impression on you, then it's not good enough.
Right. Okay. So just the most disgusting bass-heavy nonsense.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that does make someone's face screw. You know, it's not. Sometimes you can think it's like personal choice, and other times it can actually be the music causing such ruptions to your internals that it does that to your face.
Yeah.
Like,
You need a weakened casualty after.
yeah, it's just like I'm just dying for someone to drop the brown note. Just dying for someone to drop the brown note in the middle of a set and just see everyone in fucking Cosmic Ball Bag just drop trow at the same time. Just like one communal absolute flattening from it. No, I'm very much like I very much sit somewhere right in the middle between like that arms in the air and that screw face moment. But there's something about like when the bass just gets natty and you can just screw that motherfucker, flick that finger, and you just know that's the one. That's the one. So what sort of specific tunes get your face screwing up? You can drop a couple if you want before you actually announce your tune.
I'm banging Dion at the moment because
he's
got some very, very naughty tracks out.
yeah, he's good, Dion. And his alter egos. Very alter egos.
Yes.
SRB.
It's hard to keep up with all of the different names he goes under. But I was quite surprised when I was rummaging through my collection the other day at how many Dion tracks I actually have. So I think I've got a bit of an obsession about him, to be honest.
He makes good music. He never makes really bad tunes. Like
on his releases as well, it's quite varied as well because he'll have the heavy, total bass-induced coma track, and then he'll have maybe a bit of Millennium stuff on. But yeah, for me, it's the bass. And the track I've picked for this is by Promo and is Bass Management.
Sweet. Well, let's just roll that one straight out for you.
let's get fucking thick in it.
that was the Screwface moment for the On the Rave podcast today. That was promo base management, and that
Pure brutalness.
yeah, it is a bit brutal. That it does not make you want to screw your face. So yeah, you're right. It's a canny example you've picked to match your lines there. Sweet. Well, as we move on, we're moving to section 7, which is the dedication section. This is the section of the podcast where we allow our guests to dedicate a tune to someone, play it out there, tell them how much they love them, or if you're Smith, how much of a cunt they are. So, would you like to dedicate a tune? What tune would you like to dedicate and who to?
Well, the track is Forgotten Moments by Lenny D, and it's the Ophidian DJ cut.
Oh, Lenny D.
Lenny D, God.
It's an absolute savage tune.
Savagery.
Savagery.
And for whose oral pleasure, oral with an AU, for whose oral pleasure are we playing this
It's
tune?
dedicated to two people. One is my good lady, Wendy. This was probably one of the first rave tunes because she never really knew about the rave scene until last year.
Right.
When I
Shaded.
she was well shaded. I kept it totally hidden from her. But I dragged her along to the Nocturnal Wizards night with Lenny D.
Ah, right, sound.
I was playing on before the master, and I dropped this track. I think it was my second from the end track, and just to see the expression on her face when it kicked in, just made my night.
Mustard.
And
Mint.
it's also dedicated to my daughter for various reasons, but this track brings back a lot of fond memories.
Right. To get sit and play it with the band.
For those that know, a lot of stuff happened back then.
Stuff does.
Shit happens.
Shit happens.
No, no.
Does.
But this track came out not long after said incidents happened.
Yep.
And
Helped you move on.
it got me through a very, very dark time.
Sound. So double dedication then.
Yes.
Dedicated to the Missy. Dedicated to the band as well. Lenny D, second most played person on the podcast. Now only
After Mark.
after Mark Archer. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's the second most played
See,
person on
Rez-
the podcast. Yeah,
See, Rez, you haven't had too much gin. Yeah.
yeah. We'll see. We've got it. Yeah, we've got some win conditions here with our trip to Res.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll be sitting down and speaking to some of the people who are up at Res. But it just depends on their gin consumption. So, hey, do you know what it is? At least he was fucking honest about
Yeah.
it. Do you know what I
He
mean?
said straight away, you'll have to catch us early.
Yeah, catch us early before I'm full of gin. It was like, there you go, that's the challenge, isn't it? That just means that we've got to survive the bus journey up to Res and make sure that we can still actually talk by the time we get up there. So, Lenny D, as I said, the second most played person on the On the Rave podcast, and this is Forgotten Moments,
Beautiful.
the Ophidian
DJ.
Ophidian DJ cut. There we go, let's go.
people say. And every time goes by, and all that we have left are moments we regret, moments we forget.
Well, I just started the recording as you asked that. Incidentally, I bought them at Home Bargains. That was
powered by Home Bargains.
Powered by Home Bargains.
Home Bargains, get in touch if you want to sponsor the podcast.
Yeah, or even
or Aldi for the disco biscuit.
Azira Nitro coffee was £1 in Home Bargains, so I picked up a couple because they make podcasts. People talk. People just start pumping their gums when they're full of coffee. Speaking of pumping your gums because you're full of coffee, that was Lenny D, and that was the Ophidian remix, or the Ophidian DJ cut of Forgotten Moments, which was the dedication track picked. We're rolling into section 8 of the On The Rave podcast, which is when I'm going to take a moment to quickly remind you that you can catch us at On The Rave on Twitter, you can catch us at On The Rave on Facebook, you can catch us at youtube.com/On The Rave. We are currently powered by Podbean.
And fueled by Basement Snacks.
And don't forget that you can go into Basement Snacks and get 10% off all of your snacks and coffees and goods by simply shouting at Don's behind the counter, On The Rave. It's wonderful as well. The coffee is genuinely good. We wouldn't say it otherwise, would we?
It's a lush coffee like it is.
No.
Absolutely banging coffee.
And if there's one thing Addie knows, it's coffee.
That's
Coffee
it.
and pingers. like, if Addie went on Mastermind. it's
Chosen specialist subject.
Specialist subject.
Pingers 2000 to 2010. Mostly Mitsubishis, speckly ones.
Amazing.
Triangle Superman, man.
Joyce, I was going to make a leeway there about guilty pleasures and pingers being guilty pleasures, but they're not guilty pleasures, are they?
No.
It's just an everyday.
Pingers are
It's
kosher.
an everyday occurrence. So section 8 is the guilty pleasures part of the podcast. This is when we talk about the horrible music that you might not like other people knowing that you like. You've got to go a long way to go all the way back to the fucking very first time we had a guest to beat the worst tune we've had on. We've had close ones, haven't we, Addy?
Well, that would be very close.
We've had close calls, but at the minute Pegs is
Smurfs
still
was
ringing.
shit.
So that Steps Mega Mix is hard to listen to, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think it's as bad as the Wolf though.
No, it's not as bad as
Like there's a time and a place for Steps, you know, at a wedding, 12 pints up, dancing with your aunties and nanas. Do you know how, is that not when Steps is acceptable? I don't think the Wolf's ever acceptable.
No.
Like, we put it on before and it just,
Yeah.
you guys, it gave us a bit of a headache. It's just awful.
It's just
Well
a bit
done, Pegs.
Just a bit
It's
shit.
going to take some beating. So, by the way of guilty pleasures, Col, what do you listen to back up on your lonesome? In
On
your,
my
in, your,
lonesome.
in your headphones on the bus when you know no one else is watching?
My chill out music.
Your chill out music. Your chill out music.
If I'm
Here we go.
decorating,
And yeah.
doing any little jobs around the house, this is my soundtrack. People, two good friends, all hardcore fans, find out I listen to this and they start distancing themselves.
Just building it up here, like,
So-
any.
So yeah, I'm a closet metalhead.
Wait.
at
It's
heart.
read. It's not.
For
it's
some
not
reason,
that, they can
I
be
get a
worse.
lot of frowns when people find out I listen
Turn
to
that
this.
frown upside down.
Ah.
You're in friendship country here like we like metal.
Yeah, well, I don't mind a bit of metal. I like my better halves, like 90% metal, 10%
Yeah.
K-pop. So, like, you know, it's the kind of mix. Well, it used to be, you know, closer to 5% K-pop, 5% Lady Gaga, but she lost some trust for Lady Gaga at one point. I don't know what it was. You'd have to ask her. Maybe we'll get her on to talk about metal at one point. You know, if there's a market for metal, there's always a market for metal.
There's always a market, always will be.
So what sort of metal do you listen to while you're putting up some new wallpaper?
Some new wallpaper.
while you're wallpapering or while you're painting the dado rails?
Something gives us a bit whiplash. Stuff Cradle of Filth. I like the progressive stuff like Warpath.
Can't fucking
Dream
stand Danny
Theater.
Filth's voice, you know.
Yeah,
It's like nails on a chalkboard.
But early Cradle of Filth musically beautiful.
I'll have to take your word for it, like.
If you can kind of zone out of the Danny's high pitched squealings, then
Squealings.
then it's a great band.
He's just, do you know what? He comes across as such an angry midget.
Yes.
He really
Oh,
does.
he's a short fan.
Like, he just comes across as such an angry midget. And like, do you know what it is? He recently did a song that was used on a WWE event. It was used for he featured on a song that was used for the NXT event that was just
Well,
recently.
the UK one.
No, not the UK one. It was the one before that.
Because they had about 10 songs on that.
Yeah, they had loads, but it featured Danny Filth. And the little video bit that came on every time was Danny Filth walking in massive fucking platform shoes, covered in rings all attached together, with a trolley walking down like an aisle in an Asda. And he looked so out of fucking place, and he looked like such an angry midget next to all the cans of beans and stuff like that. But he was just pushing a trolley along. And it just made us pull a face and think, fuck, you know, when you just haven't heard of someone for a while, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh look, there's Danny Filth.
So this is what he's up to now.
He's pushing a trolley and featuring in wrestling soundtrack music. So what sort of So as before I went on my tangent about Danny Filth. So what sort of music you say when you're doing the
Hard,
housework?
fast, lots of bass, lots of rapid kick drums.
Yeah.
It's kind of me alternative to speedcore
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
that sort of black metal, dark,
Yeah.
double foot peg,
Yeah, that's the ones.
stamping along. You get other drummers with thighs like Roberto
Yeah.
Carlos. Like,
It's got a little electric guitar tour, and then when everybody's out there, I have a little kick about on it every now and again. Can't
Yeah.
play for shit, but you know, it makes us feel like a rock star.
well, that's it. I bought a banjo. Not a banjo. I bought a ukulele because I wanted to feel like that giant guy from Hawaii. You know, the guy who sings somewhere over the rainbow. Like one day I just want to be able to stand half in the water and play one somewhere over the rainbow and look as like sort of in place as he did. I've not picked it up yet. I'm not trying.
You got as far as buying it.
Yeah, I know it was a wonderful birthday present that I got bought. I just haven't had a chance to pick it up yet. Sadly,
Give it a straw.
kind of like art.
Yeah.
Like I still
Just
haven't.
there to be looked at.
I still haven't picked up art. So, which tune is it that you've chosen to fully represent your guilty pleasure of horrible black metal?
To represent my very guilty little secret, it is a track called Hades Rising by a Swedish black metal band called Bloodbath.
Are there any other type of black metal band apart from Swedish?
Now you mention it. Now you
I have got
mention
a
it.
lot.
I have got a lot of Swedish black metal. Or they've just got a lot to do.
There is a lot of Swedish black metal.
Yeah, there's just a lot of Swedish black metal. Cool, well, let's play some. So, this is the Guilty Pleasure track that's been selected by Col. This is Bloodbath.
Don't hate me, people.
Don't hit him. This is Bloodbath, and the tune is called Hades Rising. Celestial way, that was some Swedish black death metal stuff thing. That was Bloodbath, and that was Hades Rising. That was a Guilty Pleasure track selected by Col, who's sitting over to my right. So we're quickly moving on, and we're moving into the goat section where you've chosen to play your wild card, so you're doing a double goat.
I am, yes.
Too hard to separate the two acts, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So do you want to take us through your first pick? Who and why?
Who and why? Wait, Lenny D.
Lenny D.
What can you?
Exactly.
Can you see anything bad about Lenny D?
Well, people
He's a little bit short.
People can try
Yeah. Makes me look tall, though.
Well, that's it.
Outside.
There you go. Joyous, next to him, even Tony T looks tall. So.
But yeah, it's Lenny D.
Yeah.
It's a huge inspiration in my early years.
Yeah.
Just for his sheer passion back then and his drive.
Yeah.
He used to sing everywhere.
Well, that's it. He didn't just like put music out. He was out there playing his music as well.
And he gives a lot of new people that first step on the scene.
Yeah.
On his label, which is fantastic for someone of his caliber.
Yeah.
To still look out for the little guys.
Well, that's it. Everyone who I've heard who's actually spoke to him and enjoyed time with him said that he's a stand-up bloke as
He's
well.
a lovely man.
Yeah.
So,
That's where my missus has got a huge obsession with him now from that first nocturnal. Phone after that night was just full of selfies with her and Lenny D. I was like, oh, come on.
You've been replaced.
Not a single picture of her with me or her with anyone else. It was just her with Lenny D.
That's like your missus and your hero next to each other. There's got to be some sort of conflicting emotion going on. Hasn't there? It's just sort of like, look how good the pair of them are getting. How good are you two getting on?
It went straight in the wank bank, that one.
The personal one, or have you actually got one in the house? Or?
It's on nice big screen. Computer. Mrs. goes to bed. There we go. There we go.
A look at the inside. The things that happen when the doors close in the Davison household. Fucking hell. Right, so what Lenny D tune sort of typifies the reason why you've selected him as a goat?
I sat for a good few hours rattling through tracks, and there was one track he released fairly recently.
Right.
With the Sicker Squad, a bit of a collab. And the intro, it just had us giggling me tits off.
Right.
And it's on my phone. I'm a bit knocked. The work on one of my courses, I stick that on and
sort all the crap out.
Yeah, sort all the crap out.
Right, mint. Well, I don't see why there's any more discussion to be done, Addie. Shall we just play some Lenny D?
Let's get fucking into it.
Yeah, let's bang some Lenny D out. This is Lenny D and the Sicker Squad, and the tune is called It's Just an MF. Is that shorted for sweary?
It is.
It's just an MF, but it's shorted for sweary.
Sweary. We're not sweary on this podcast, Gavin.
No, we're a family friendly.
We're not fucking sweary.
We are a family fucking friendly, educational fucking podcast.
Educational as fucking me, man.
Fun for all the family.
Exactly. This is Lenny D. Haha.
Check it out. 1, 2, check it out. Motherfucker. Fucker, mother. Motherfucker, motherfucker. Fucker, fuck, mother. Papa fuck, mama fuck, papa fuck, mama fuck. Fuck, papa, pop, mother, motherfucker. Papa. Motherfucker. 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 Yo, motherfucker, getting down with this. Hey. Motherfucker. Motherfucker. Motherfucker getting down.
Way, that was Lenny D and the Sickest Squad, and that was a pretty waxer tune, I reckon. Waxer.
Yes.
Lenny's a popular guy, and he's already been picked as a goat already before.
By
but
me.
we've got a double goat on the go. So, for your 2 and 1, because this noise is better than the app would make. So who else have you picked to?
It is a chap which a lot of you might know, Mr. DJ Producer.
Big up, Luke.
He's only been mentioned a few times
A couple of times,
on
yes.
previous shows.
Um,
And again, he's one of those guys.
Twice in the last show.
Yeah, exactly. He's just one of those guys that's sort of epitomises rave in the UK, doesn't he?
yeah. And
He oozes class and rave.
again, he's another one of them completely down to earth.
Lovely lad, Luke.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the Nocturnals. Remember talking complete cod shit with him for a good hour and a half.
Oh, you'll enjoy that.
Oh yeah, he was.
He
in his
just,
element.
every time you chat with him, he just loves chatting about music, man.
Yeah.
And like,
He
it
just loves
makes it dead easy because he's receptive to what's going on, and he's much of a fan of music as people are of him. You know
He's
what I
a
mean?
total, he's a total fanboy.
Yeah, that's it. But like, he was posting on Facebook just the other day about moving records from one house to another, and what a nightmare it's been carrying box upon box upon box
Never
upon
gets
box
easy.
upon box upon box
I'll
of
move
records.
loads up to the loft and try to get boxes of records up a fucking really steep fucking shit wooden ladder. It's an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, it's just it's an awkward thing to try and carry in front of your face, like a Tupperware box full of records or something like that, isn't it?
I came to the solution of just putting the plastic box up and I've got this old leather bag, just fill that up, tie the top, winch it up, put the records down.
You did a little Indiana Jones, like made it a little machine
made
in
a
that.
little rope ladder out of it.
Like Mousetrap when you were a band in that. That's hilarious. It's the way you do. You know, it's the way you approach these things, Addy, that I love about you. That's what I love about you. It's the
I thought it was boyish good looks and love
Your
pickups.
boyish good looks and your love. Yeah, something. It's a bit of both, isn't it? What a fanboy. Speaking of fanboys, DJ Producer. Yeah. So what is it? You said Luke's he's just one of those guys that the scene just evolves
cool,
around him.
and he's 8-hour sets. He
Yeah, the
covers-
big party sets.
He covers a whole host of ranges in that, from early hip hop to bang and speakcore.
Yeah.
There's no limits, no boundaries
Yeah.
to his sets.
He's a very talented man.
He is.
He's a very talented man. I've seen him do things on 3 decks that I couldn't do with a computer and 12 arms.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? He's just one of them. So, what tune would you say typifies your love of DJ Producer?
Again, it was such a difficult choice.
There's so many of them, isn't there?
But I got an album recently, Third Movement, I believe it was on.
Yeah.
All tip-top tracks on that, but the Producer one for me stood out a mile.
Yeah.
And it's The Last Man Standing, and Outside Agency remix, I believe.
Yeah.
They tinkered with it.
Yeah.
But absolutely beautiful, absolutely face ripper.
Yeah, they're
Love it.
proper hot at the minute, Outside Agency. Everything that's coming out of them, it just sounds so good.
They're wonderful people.
They're wonderful
Yeah,
people.
they've just been on point forever.
Yeah, they are very, very on point. And this is the second time overall in the podcast that we'll be playing this tune. Hopefully we'll actually play the right version of this tune.
That's also
people will remember that this is the actual tune that was picked by Mike Technoist in episode 8. 8, yeah. He says 8.
Also known as the episode that Ali was really drunk and was really sniffy.
You were very sniffy in that episode, weren't it? But we were in a really cold hotel in Leeds.
Yeah, I had a cold as well. So I was just like, I was just breathing through my mouth and going...
Yes, Addie, it was definitely the cold that made you have those snorty noises. That
was definitely the cold.
That wicked night in Leeds. Mint, so for the double quota, we're going to play some more DJ Producer. This is the Outside Agency revision of Last Man Standing.
You get wicked coke off the dark web.
I can't allow you to create this kind of hysteria. Everybody just stay calm. Situation's under control.
did, or I'm going to knock you the fuck out. Say we go outside and finish it off, huh? Right here, right now. I will prevail because I'm a winner and I will not stop until I destroy you. Sun Tzu said, when you're done fucking your enemies, fuck them some more.
And there you have it. And there you have it. Last Man Standing, DJ Producer. That was the second gold track picked. And we are down to the very last section of the podcast again. We've done it again. It's been sound, sitting down and having a chat with you.
Lovely.
And obviously everyone knows where they can see you. They can all catch you at Hardcore Fighters. You can get your tickets on.
Of April.
Yeah, you can get your tickets on Skittle. Get in there, get them early because they will go. And of course, you get to see On the Rave live there. Addie's going to play some tunes, and I'm going to. Addie's going to play some tunes. It's first I've heard. Addie's going to play some tunes, and I'm going to shout some stuff down the microphone.
Oh yeah.
So Joy, there's no more fucking coffee for you. It's like. Absolutely on when he's sitting there like a little tinker, paying no attention.
Twitching away.
Like, just twitching away. Like, saying he needs more coffee. What the fuck? Either way, it's time to move on to the last section of the podcast. As we said, this is the personal anthem section. The way we like to describe this is if you were a WWE superstar, what music would hit? John Cena. It's because I'm wearing my camouflage shorts. I think you can't see it. Jorts. So, personal anthems. Have you got many, or is there one standout?
Far too many to mention.
Yeah.
Again, this was a nightmarish choice.
Yeah.
I basically left it up to the missus to pick it for us.
I think that's a good way of doing it, really, because then you can ask the person closest to you what song sort of is you in a song.
Yeah, that was
so,
the way I went about it.
Did you give her the choices of what to pick, though?
Yes.
Was it like, how to narrow it down for you? It's like, which song reminds you of me, but which of these songs reminds you most of me?
Because I should probably would have picked a TDF track or something, but I had to play it safe. Just a brutal track. Brutal, bassy, crunchy.
Yeah.
Another face ripper.
Yeah. Okay. So what tune have you? What tune? I was going to say, have you picked? What tune did you let the missus pick for you?
It is "Angry" by Shadow Breath, which is on Mockham, and it's more of the fruity side of Mockham.
the fruity
side of that cassette.
I didn't realise Mockham was full of raisins. It's like
fruit and nuts.
The fruit and nut.
Yeah,
the fruity side of Mockham. Well, Mockham's another one of those really fun, really big labels, isn't it? I know long-time listener and sufferer of the podcast, Tony T, will be loving a little bit of Morecambe being played. Particularly a one that he didn't pick. Yeah. But yeah, so which Morecambe... So the Angry, you said.
Yes.
What is it about Angry that makes... What is it about Angry that you think the missus makes her think about you? Ooh.
I don't know if it's the screechy, ear-shattering bits that reminds us of her, or the very low, gut-ripping bass drum that kicks in.
Eviscerating bass.
Yes, about halfway through the track, the kick drum just goes on a journey of its own.
Ah.
Goes up, down, it rattles the subs, everything, and hopefully it's that side of the track which
people will enjoy.
Yes, because it all gets me
Gets you
rigid.
Brennan.
Gets me rigid.
Makes me rigid, love. Right, okay, sound. Well, as I said, it's been really sound having you on.
Thank you
and
for
sitting
having us.
down in conversation. What we'll do now is we will play that track for you. So, this is Angry by Shadow Breath.
That's what it's all when I get.
that was the personal anthem track played. That was Shadow Breath.
Shadow Breath!
Shadow Breath! It sounds like a character from Lord of the Rings, doesn't it?
It's not as good as Meat Hanky.
No. To be, I've come out with some shit in my lifetime, but Meat Hanky, it's definitely one of them. It just makes me think of someone wiping their nose on a slice of bacon, which people could argue is a waste of bacon, but it's not for me. Like, I'd eat my bacon in any case, don't I?
I'll lick your bacon.
You'll lick my bacon. That sounds horrendous.
This is bacon.
That's not the sort of relationship we have. It's a working relationship. It's like, you lick my bacon. You are a piece of... Oh. In any case, we've come to the end of another podcast. Thank you very much, everyone, for sitting and listening. You can catch us for all sorts of shenanigans on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. And for now, I think it's probably time to get scientific.
Oh, this one's a fucking science masterclass.
Right, okay.
Science... Get my dick hard for science.
Right.
It's going to be fucking super, super bangy, super, super clangy, super, super snary. It's timing, never look back on Kill Sheep Records. Get your fucking nana and kick her in the cunt.
Oh, dear. So we've got some absolute filth to send you all home with. It's been cush. You're all hanging out and stuff like that. We'll be back in a little bit, speaking to the other man who's been sat in the room for Pez. But for now, thank you very much, everybody, and we are now officially
off the rave.
Never look